So I've broken, I've beaten my body up a bunch over the course of my lifetime, and I figured I'd share some of those stories with you. I'm literally just trying to whip through these recordings before I go see my my sister and my family, because I'll have to leave semi shortly. TBD on that. However, what was I going to say? Hold on, I'm totally spacing. Injuries. I'm going to go from, I think, the earliest injury on and try to work my way throughout my life and just talk about those. So the earliest injury I remember was I was a young, wee little kid, and I was sitting on my twin bed in my bedroom. I don't really know what I was thinking, but for the sake of the explanation, I thought I had a bed on me, because this would have been really nice. Because, all right, well, I'm on a bed, and pretend this is like the foot of my bed, and I had a headboard here, and I had a footboard here, and I was just like, bang, bang, whipping my head just into the mattress of the bed, and I was going full body, and every time I was hitting my body on the floor, I inched, unbeknownst to me, a little closer to the footboard, and inched, and as I was banging my head, eventually I got so close that I, bang, smashed my face right on the wood, and boy was I a loud boy. I was screaming, crying. I had blood gushing all over my lips. I remember my mom comes in and she just sees like hopefully this isn't too graphic for you guys, but I was just covered in blood from my lip, and my mother was like, oh my god, because all she heard was the crack, and then she sees her son. Sorry mom, by the way, didn't mean to traumatize you, but that's what you get for raising a kid. Haha, sucker. I'm kidding, I love you, mom. No, but I was I was just covered in, she thought I was like dying or something. I was just like, I split my lip open. That's where a lot of the blood flow is, so that's probably what caused that. To this day, and I'm even feeling it right now, I still have the scar. I still have the scar from just smashing my lip on there. I can kind of like chew on it a little bit, and kind of like, actually, it's kind of like a stress toy for me. I kind of like chew on it whenever I feel stressed. It's my own little gift to myself, I guess. So that was definitely my youngest one. I remember another memory was... Do you guys remember Heelys? Who am I kidding? I'm talking like 12-year-olds, I bet. Yeah, of course you don't. Heelys are... Heelys are these shoes that have wheels in them. And they had wheels on the heels, thus the name Heelys. And I thought they were so cool. I begged my parents for them for months and months and months. And they're like, no, they're dangerous. I'm like, no, they're not. They're fine. It's going to be fine, Mom. No, you don't know what you're talking about, Mom. They're going to be fine. And I think maybe it was my pestering that got me them. Because the same thing happened with a Wii. They said they would never get me a Wii. And I kid you not, every day for over a year, I would beg my parents for a Wii. Every day. And I think I just wore them out. I don't think they did it out of the kindness of their heart. I think they're like, this will shut the kid up. Fine, go. Get your stupid Wii. Happy Merry Christmas. I don't care. Get away from that. I'm sure they did it out of love, but I'm also sure I pissed them the heck off. But with the Heelys, so I eventually got the Heelys. I was like, yo, this is sick. All my neighborhood buddies had Heelys too. And I was like, this is incredible. Oh my God. I can finally go. And we had this big hill right by our house. And I remember trying to Heely down it, and I was getting pretty good at it. I had good control, and I was pretty on top of things. But something that the Heelys weren't rated for was getting stuff inside the wheel bearing or the housing of the wheel and getting caught and jamming the wheel. So when a stick promptly was on the road and it got caught in my wheel bearing and stopped all the wheels and caused them to seize up. Oh, you choose now to show the music, huh, God? Huh? You want to play the music now as I'm talking about the moment of pain? You know what? Pop off, King. Yeah, the wheel bearing seized up. All my momentum stopped in my upper body. Well, all my momentum stopped on the lower end of my body, and all the momentum on my upper body kept going, and it caused me to do a front flip over my heels, and I landed awkwardly on my wrist all of my weight crashed on my wrist, and I had frail little boy bones, so yeah, I broke my wrist just straight up on the spot. And boy, yeah, Mom, I know, you told me so. Whatever, whoop-de freaking do. Oh God, I kind of broke my wrist there. What else do we got? And then, let's see, what was the next one? Oh, I broke my leg. I don't remember this one too much. I was at my aunt and uncle's house in Florida, and I have a few vague memories from it. Number one is I fell down the stairs. That's how I broke my leg. Number two is they put a boot on me. I remember that. Number three, I was in a wheelchair at some point. I don't think I was incapacitated to walk, but I think it just hurt a lot. I don't really remember that. What else? Oh, yeah, my concussion. Okay, so I was skiing. I mean, I've got probably more injuries than I can cover in this video, but I was skiing with my cousins, and this is since yesterday I was talking about. I was pushing myself and I was injuring myself. One of the injuries I had was getting clotheslined at 35 miles an hour headfirst into a tree, and it knocked me right into the head, and then my whole body slammed back into the ground. And at the time, I had this big cut on my face, but I kept skiing the rest of the day because I thought I was fine. I remember waking up the next morning and we're driving home after the ski trip, and I looked to my dad. I'm like, Dad, I am hot and I am cold at the same time. It was the strangest feeling I ever had. I was lightheaded. I felt nauseous. The lights were bright. Yeah. Okay. So I was starting to be unsure of what the heck my name is, but that was definitely a pretty bad one. The doc was like, yikes, dude. Thank God you were wearing a helmet. And also, wear a helmet. Safety first, guys. If you're going to do anything with risk, wear a freaking helmet. If anyone tries to shame you for being safe, tell them to screw themselves, and that by wearing a helmet, you are inevitably allowing yourself to do the unsafe things for a safer, longer amount of time. So screw those suckers. Wearing a freaking helmet is cool. What else do we got? Am I running out of injuries? I mean, I broke my wrist ice skating. Well, I didn't break it, but I did like a hairline fracture. To this day, it's still a little screwed up, actually. That one's not as interesting. I've got a lot of more just like... Oh, I got impaled by my own ski pole once. Yeah, so basically I was skiing with some of my friends, and I got sideswiped from behind. We were young, we were reckless, we didn't really know what we were doing. We were trying to race down the mountain to see if we could get one more run in. And we were racing pretty fast, and I think he just collided into the rear of me, which he crossed my skis, caused me to tumble, popped my arm out of my socket, ski pole went in under my rib cage, punctured my diaphragm. Oh, it didn't puncture my diaphragm, but it bruised it. But it really screwed up my breathing a lot, even maybe a little to this day still. Still a little bit weird. It's fine though. I remember I had to go to... I was like, Dad, you got to take me out of swim practice, because I had to go to swim practice later for swim team. And he's like, I always try to make excuses because I didn't like going back in the day. I didn't like exercise. I didn't like pushing myself. Now it's completely different. But he was like, no, you're going. And so I went, and I was miserable, and I could barely move. And my coach was like, you okay? And I'm like, no, I got stabbed today. And she's like, excuse me? Coach, you got to listen to me, man. I took one to the gut. I took one for the team. Give me my freaking Purple Heart, man. I deserve this. Of course, I was being a bit dramu at the time, but I was definitely having troubles breathing. That I can't exaggerate. I literally got impaled, and I still have the bruise to this day. My body, my sweet little body. But yeah, those are just some of my injuries, in case you're curious. And if I traumatized you, I don't know, L for Chief. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.